Namaste. Welcome to class today. My name is Todd Norian, and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga, and it's wonderful to be with you today. I wanted to remind everyone, please share this experience with your friends so more and more people can be exposed to the practice and the teachings. This is practices for inner peace, and we want to spread this around as much as we can, especially during this time. In addition, come join the Ashaya community at ashayayoga.com, where you'll receive updates and inspirations and newsletters and things. And it's a fabulous community of like-minded people supporting each other to live from our heart, to source our life from the heart, and to draw on the deep wisdom that resides inside each of us. And also, I'll be teaching a 30-day challenge coming up starting June 1st. And I want to invite everyone to join that. To do something for 30 days in a row is really powerful for establishing a lifelong pattern and habit of self-care. And this will be my second one. The first one was really amazing, and it's the Ashaya morning practice called Pillars of Peace. So you can still register, and that starts on Monday coming up. In addition, on June 13th, I have a day-long retreat. So it's going to be a 6-hour session that'll run all day with breaks in between. For anyone who wants to really take a deeper dive into the philosophy, into the asana, mantra practice, meditation, and putting it all together inside of a wonderful retreat-like day during this time. And that'll be Saturday, June 13th. So I'm thinking about practices for inner peace. That's what this is. And how to get to inner peace is one of the first things. And then how do you protect it once you're there is the second thing. And one of the things about inner peace is to really come to a place where you recognize that we all have flaws. It's a recognition of our own humanity, that we're all human beings, and as human beings we have flaws, we have imperfections. But we need to try to get inside of that, because having flaws is seen in the Tantric tradition as not a bad thing. In fact, we are perfectly imperfect just the way we are. But it takes a deeper level of acceptance. And it's not just acceptance, it's a level of perspective where we have to get inside this level of sort of get on the inside of those flaws, inside of our individual idiosyncrasies, the things that make us uniquely ourselves, and try to get to a place where through deep acceptance we accept our flaws, not just as flaws, but as the source of our peace. To accept our emotions as a source of our peace, rather than keep trying to change everything and shaming ourselves. And so this is really a deeply intense yogic way of learning how to realign ourselves. Because once you recognize the flaw, we have to get inside and try to understand it. Then we can change, we can realign, and we can change course. And that's really the best use of how to work with our flaws. Often you don't know about the flaws until it's already been done, so it's the past. So how do we use our past? Well, past, we use our history as a way to learn. So we gain wisdom from the past. I always like to say, let your afterwards be your teacher. Let your afterwards be your teacher. So the way to get to this place of inner peace is through deep acceptance and remembering that it's through those flaws that we don't just accept, but we find the source of peace. Through them, we make our flaws the source of our peace. And the second way is consistency. We need to set up a consistent practice every single day of self-care, and on all the different levels. And for the yogis, it's the yoga stretching, the meditation, the good healthy diet, and practices of kindness. And all those things are ways that will get us into the state of deep inner peace, and then how to protect it. Because it takes a lot of work to get there. And you have to ask yourself, like, do you let people steal your inner peace away? And no one can take your inner peace without you first giving them permission to take it. So it's really an internal practice that we want to learn how to become stronger with. So take a comfortable seat, turn your thigh bones in, hollow through the front of the groins, and then draw your tailbone down. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, lift your side ribs. Join your index fingers and thumbs, and this is where we connect our limited self, index finger, to our unlimited nature, to our possibility. So you touch, palms down. Close your eyes, take a breath, and when you exhale, deep acceptance. Let your hips surrender down into the earth. Take the head of your arm bones back and hug your shoulder blades onto your back ribs consistently. All around, all parts of the shoulder blade, engage. Lift your throat, take your palate back, and align your palate over your pelvis. And then envision 3 globes of light, one in the upper palate, one in the base of the heart, and one in the core center of your pelvis. And breathe into these 3 globes, sense them, see them, visualize them, even feel. Which with each inhalation they glow a little brighter. With each exhalation they diminish slightly. And tune into the natural flow, the rhythm of your breath. And then align these 3 globes vertically, one on top of the other. And to do that, your upper palate needs to draw back. The head actually needs to slide back slightly. And then align your palate over your pelvis with the heart. Connect the 3 globes of light now with a radiant column of light from the base of the spine all the way up through the palate, through the top of the head. And let this inner light be your intention to accept and have consistency in practice. We think of the steadiness of the sun. It's never missed a day. We think of the steadiness of grace. That's the hand behind everything that happens. The truth is that the light is always there, grace is always there, but we close down to it. And so we come to our practice to set an intention to open up again. Ask yourself, how can I more deeply accept myself, my own humanness, my own flaws, and see those flaws as divine? To see the flaws that we have just in our attempts to do everything well. We're going to make mistakes. It's part of the journey. So we release this over-excessive need for perfectionism, which is sourced from shame anyway. And we open to the reality that our flaws are actually what help us learn and grow. But we have to understand, we have to recognize and understand, and then embrace. And then we learn from these flaws. We realign, readjust, and change course. We also repair. You know, if you damaged a relationship or if something's out of sync, we can always go back and repair. And even if the other person is unwilling to repair the relationship, you can repair your own heart. Let yourself off the hook. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Trust your deeper intention, because everyone wants love. Everyone wants belonging. Consider every word and action and thought either love or a call for love. It's that kind of support, which is really the opposite of shame, that we need to grow ourselves as yogis and as human beings. Remember, accept yourself so deeply that your flaws become the source of your peace. Now that's true inner peace. You become unshakable, unbreakable, in your capacity to live in your heart, to be at peace. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. And let's connect with that deep sense of inner peace through the sound of Om. Take a breath. To the peace in your own heart, gently bow. When you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. Come to a standing position. Clasp your hands behind your back. Stand well with your feet hip distance apart. And with deep acceptance, lengthen your ribs. Take the head of your arm bones back and stretch your elbows back. Take some nice deep breaths. Feel the stretch all through the upper back, shoulders, arm bones go back. Lift your throat, and even take your head back a little bit. Full deep breaths. How to get to inner peace? Oh, accept your flaws. Be humble. How to maintain inner peace? Be consistent. Hug your muscles to the bones with consistency. Every day, I want to align with the bigger energy. And it takes every day. Multiple times a day. Are you kidding? You know, when I figured that out, I said, the heck with it. I'm going to dedicate my whole life to this endeavor. And it is a lifetime of practice. Exhale, release. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Lead with your heart. Touch the floor lightly or blocks. Engage your legs. So with consistency, hug your muscles to the bones. And hug 360 degrees all around the bone. A great way to do that is lift your toes. When your toes come up, make sure that your little toes and your big toes are up evenly. That's going to increase the arches in your feet. Medial arch, lateral arch, transverse arch. Then, slightly bend your knees and imagine you could pull your heels backwards. So just pull back. You're going to move your whole body back 2 feet, but you don't move. It's an isometric contraction. And that's going to get your hamstrings to hug. You'll feel your hamstrings more than you would ever care to. Keep that level of consistency. And then inhale, lift your heart, deep acceptance. Exhale and bow. With a consistent flow of engagement, lift your heart, exhale, bow. Continue several more times. Now when you exhale, see if you let go of any self-judgment. When you exhale, release self-criticism and come back to a place of acceptance, and it's self-love. And it's not weak acceptance. You know, acceptance that makes your flaws your source of peace is really strong. Inhale, heart forward last time. Exhale, right leg back, lunge. Scissor your legs. Lift your hands an inch off the floor. So now you got to work your left leg strongly. And breathe. Engage consistently. And then we want to take the perfectionism out of consistency. You miss a day, you don't worry about it. You just come back to your mat the next day. That's what everybody was saying in the 30-day challenge. And what's nice is all the sessions are recorded, so you can always go back and listen. Keep your legs engaged now. Be consistent, and then lightly touch the floor. Right thigh lifts up more, left hip sinks down more, tail in. And from your pelvis, push through your legs. And from your pelvis, lengthen through your spine. We get the opportunity in every moment to realign, to change course, to adjust. And guess what? Grace always gives you a second chance. Grace gives second chances. Human beings sometimes don't give second chances, but grace always does. Let's take advantage of that. Exhale, step right foot forward. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, left foot back, lunge. Engage your legs. Consistency. Lift your hands. And now you're going to feel whether you have weakness on this side compared to the other side, or maybe this side is just as strong or even stronger. Observe. Bring your hands to the outside of the foot, and bring it to the inside, the outside. We're just turning on the gluteal muscles here. And then keep your legs engaged consistently. Touch the floor. Left thigh up, right hip back, tailbone in from your pelvic core. Expand like rays of the sun in all directions. Left heel back, right shin forward, spine long, neck long. And breathe. Each exhalation soften a little bit more so you don't overdo it. We can become obsessively consistent. It's because we're human beings, okay? See, but everything on the human level in the Tantra is seen as part of the divine level, and it has that quality of deep acceptance. Try to source your peace in who you are right now, flaws and all. Don't wait. Exhale, step back, downward dog pose. Ultimately press your heels. Many people wait a whole lifetime before they accept themselves. And if they're lucky, right before they die, they get it. You don't have to wait that long. In fact, you can open up to acceptance right now. Alternately, press your heels, bend the opposite knee. Enjoy the stretch to your calves, hamstrings, ankles. Deepen your breath. Now bend both knees. Hug your shins toward the middle. Consistency. Turn your thighs in. Lift your sitting bones. Tailbone down. Then from your heart, push down through your hands. Turn your lower arms in and get a little more pressure on your thumb and index finger knuckles. And then as your lower arm turns in, lift your inner armpits up. Thumb and index finger down, inner armpit up. The inner armpits lift, and then you widen the upper arms, just slightly. So instead of crowding your neck, you open and make a little more space. That's what acceptance does. Then push from your heart to your hands, and from your heart to your heels. Heart and hands, heart and heels. Stretch. Exhale, right foot forward. Come up, hands to your hips. Inhale, stretch your arms up, warrior lunge. Full deep breaths. Get your left wrist and crescent arc over to the right. Just hold the left wrist and go. Inhale to center. Now bring your left hand back to your left thigh and push your thigh up into your hand. Allow your breath to be more consistent, flowing and smooth. Hug your legs consistently. And one of the things on the spiritual path, of course, spiritual path is optional. But when you choose to have a spiritual path, then consistency is also don't give up. Don't give up. Keep it going. From your pelvis, root down through your feet. From your pelvis, rise up more. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, right arm back to the left thigh. Breathe. Consistency. Don't give up. Build strength. Acceptance is really a strength. Inhale, arms up. Inner peace is a strength. Exhale, fold. Touch the floor. Step back, downward dog pose. And breathe. Feel the difference between your right and your left legs now. You'll feel a variety of heat, difference of sensation. Exhale, left foot forward. Hug your legs. Come up, hands to the hips. With consistency, charge your legs. Stretch your arms up. Consistency is needed to create anything of lasting value. You know, all the artists, musicians, philosophers, PhD candidates, you know, there's a tremendous amount of dedication and consistency needed to really follow your dream. Don't be obsessive. Stretch up. Full deep breath. Take your right wrist, crescent over to the left. Lift your right thigh a little bit higher, tailbone in, ribs in. This is a really great stretch from psoas, from quadriceps, psoas, QL, all the way up to your shoulder. Inhale to center. Right hand back to the right thigh. Push your right leg up into your hand. Rise up more, arch back. Breathe. Each breath, a little more acceptance. We accept our flaws, find a source of peace, and then switch. I don't think the source of peace is really in the flaw itself. I think the source of peace comes from an acceptance of the flaw, that you actually see the value of some idiosyncrasy, or you're able to embrace the wisdom you got from making a mistake. Instead of shaming ourselves for our mistakes, we congratulate ourselves, learn from it, and then change course. That's important. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, sweep your arms out to the side. Plank. Claw all 10 fingers. Then bring your knees down. Exhale, halfway down, push up. And then push your hands to come back up, elbows straight. Exhale, bend your elbows. Go halfway, and then come back up. So be real consistent. Don't move your fingers at all. All 10 fingers have even pressure. Good. Do 5 to 10 of these. And just focus on consistency. Don't let your elbows wing out. Keep your elbows in a little. Heavy arm bones back. Heart soft with acceptance. Shoulder blades consistent. Finger pads, roots consistent. Exhale all the way down. Bring your arms by your sides. Inhale, legs up, chest, neck, shoulders, and head up. And breathe. And push your palms down lightly, but keep the head of your arm bones away from the floor. Good. Locust pose. From your pelvis, push out through your toes, and from your pelvis, lengthen your spine. So it's not a huge back bend, but you gotta work your legs, your glutes, and your erector spinae muscles in the spine. There's a lot going on here. Breathe. Consistency. Exhale down. Place your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Now, just like you pulled your heels backwards, I want you to pull your hands backwards, isometrically. And when you do that, notice how the ribs start to get long. And then you can take your shoulders back more. So when your hands are consistent, now the arm bones can be consistent, and the shoulder blades are consistent, and that's going to help you melt your heart. And you can see the value of consistency helps you accept more. Consistency of practice. Nice deep breaths. Exhale down. Rest for a moment. Now separate your hands off your mat. Come onto eagle talons. Elbows wide. Come up again. So this is wide hand position. Cobra. Bhujangasana, the serpent pose. Lift your ribs, head of the arm bones back. Hug your legs real consistently. Buttock muscles firm but not tight. And just grow yourself. Out of the consistency, it's like a little chrysalis, a cocoon. This beautiful Butterfly emerges. Exhale, release. Come on to all fours. Go into downward dog pose. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, lunge forward. And square your left foot to the back edge of your mat. Walk your hands over to the left. Engage your legs and then move your thighs back. Draw your tailbone in and then come up right forearm onto your right thigh. Left hand to your hip, Parsvakonasana. Stretch your left arm straight out to the side and then with consistency pull your armpit back. And in a way, that's how we change course, because it's so easy to just let the arm fall out of the socket and bring the arm overhead, and we get pain. But if you pull the head of the arm bone back first and then stretch, you're realigned. And then usually the result of alignment is a feeling of ease, a feeling of freedom. Take your thighs back, tailbone in, and then root from your pelvis through your feet. From your pelvis, stretch your arm more. From a place of inner peace, kindness naturally flows. When you don't take care of yourself, you're not consistent, inner peace goes out the window, you fly off the handle. And that's typical daily life of most people. Exhale, spin down to the floor, bring your left knee down, and then come up and twist, left elbow cross. Go right across the right thigh, palms inside Anjali, arm bones back, and breathe. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, step back, downward dog pose. Consistent, deep breaths. Let each inhalation make you stronger. Each exhalation, more acceptance. Left leg up. Inhale. Hold it. Root your right heel. And then exhale and lunge forward. Square your right foot to the back edge. Walk your hands to the inside, over to the right. Squeeze your legs, thighs back, tailbone in. Come up left forearm to your left thigh. And this slightly easier version of Parsvakonasana, can you get your knee directly over your ankle here? Ultimately, we want the thigh bone, this part, to be parallel to the floor. So I need probably another half inch. That's not so easy. Hug your muscles consistently all around the bone, 360 degrees. Then thighs back, tail in, right arm out to the side, armpit back, change course, and stretch your arm, thumb up. From your pelvis, root through your feet. And from your pelvis, stretch. Enjoy your breath a little bit. See, what's nice is inner peace becomes very joyful. We start to get and understand why Nataraja is dancing, because life becomes more of a dance. There's a continual cosmic joke, which we can't see most of the time. But when you get the cosmic joke, when we can laugh at ourselves, life gets a lot better. Exhale, spin down to the floor, right knee down, and then twist, right elbow across the left thigh. When you twist, hug your legs consistently, and that's going to protect your hips and spine. Then push your elbow into your leg into the elbow, and notice how that gets your arm bones to go back. There's a certain amount of resistance we need. It's like a byproduct of consistency. It's a discipline, it's a training. and it grows inner peace stronger. Exhale, release, plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga, and hold. Head of the arm bones back, thighs back, tailbone in. Hold, hold. Knees down if you need. Hold, hold, and all the way down. Inhale, Kurmayasana. Crawl your right knee forward. It's cobra, but you come up and look over your right shoulder and flex your foot. This is the never before seen pose. Well, you've seen it. Push your left foot back, left ribs forward. And exhale down. Inhale, come up. Look over your left shoulder, crawl your left leg forward, flex your right foot, and push your right foot straight back, and lean your right ribs forward. You're usually tighter on one side, so notice which is your tight side. And breathe. And you know, yoga is the perfect practice for self-acceptance, because what are we doing? I'm getting you into these poses that's revealing where your muscles are weak or overly tight or sore. And it's very easy to say, oh, something's wrong with me because this hurts. You know, it's like our flaws, yoga just brings the flaws right up to the surface. So use your breath, acceptance. It's okay. In fact, I like finding tension in the body because it gives me something to focus on so I can release it. What are you doing with your tension? Exhale, release. Make a little pillow with your hands and turn your head to the side and rest. Breathe in, acceptance. Acceptance of flaws, making flaws the source of our peace. It's radical. It's also like just accepting yourself, how to love yourself just as you are, rather than criticize, shame, judge. That's what we do most of the day. Give yourself a break. And when you do, grace just floods in. Inhale, come back to center, and come onto all fours. Downward dog pose. Okay, one more series of standing poses. Exhale, right foot forward. Square your left foot and come up to warrior two. Start with hands on your hips. Left foot is square, right foot's open, heel to center of arch. And stretch your arms out and see that your ankles go as wide as your wrists are wide. And that will line up according to the bones of your body, the structure that we move toward. And if you have an injury or if you're a little bit weak, you haven't done this one in a while, narrow your stance a little bit. You need to accommodate. Otherwise, hug your legs. Consistency. Bend your right knee to a square. Right knee is directly over the right ankle. And then press your left arm back. So we're going forward in warrior two, but the typical misalignment is that we start leaning into the future here. So I want you to pull yourself into the present. Go back a little bit into the past, left arm, and then reach. So that your heart is right in the present moment. Left arm is in the past. Left leg is in the past. Hug it. Learn from the past. Take the lessons. And then offer it with light into the future. And then turn your right palm up. Go into the reverse warrior two. Breathe. Each breath, another shower of light from grace flowing down upon you. Stay with the stretch. Inhale, come up, stretch your right leg straight, and then Trikonasana pose. Put your left hand on your hip. Take your right hand over to the left, a little bit out of alignment to get back into alignment. Move your thighs back, tailbone in. Then Bring your right hand down to the floor, to the outside of your right ankle, or onto a block is fine. Today, come up onto your right heel and root the right heel down and drag your heel isometrically back. This is going to engage your leg muscles more, provide more consistency. And then keeping your legs engaged, bring your right foot back down to the floor, heart toward the sky, stretch your left arm. Shine from the pelvis through the legs and from your pelvis through your spine. Breathe. When Trikonasana is done well, it's very opening. Look down, put your left hand on your hip, bend your right knee, step your left foot forward a bit, and push off into Ardha Chandrasana, balancing half moon. Right hand comes 10 inches in front, 2 inches to the right. 10 and 2 position. Back leg. Imagine your left foot is on the edge of a countertop. And I want you to push the countertop down with your left foot. That gets your legs to engage, especially your inner thigh. Left arm up. Okay, and then look up. It's a little risky. Hug your muscles now, even more consistency on the right leg. And that's going to allow you the freedom to look up. Breathe. Deep self-acceptance. Consistency. Well done. Exhale. Bring your left hand down. Bend your right knee. Step back. Parsvottanasana. Step back just 3 feet. Both legs straight. You can have both your hands up on blocks. Scissor your legs. Gain more consistency as you scissor. Observe when you squeeze your legs. Left hip goes forward. Right hip goes back. And then bow. Each breath infused with acceptance. It's not that you accept and then get complacent. You accept and then you seek to realign, to change course. So square your hips. Left hip more forward, right hip back. Okay, we're going to go on a bus tour next. So turn your left foot all the way to the right, back foot pigeon toes in. Scissor your legs, walk your hands over to the right. This is where you might want to get off the bus. It's fine. And we're going to Ashvatthasana, banyan tree. So keep walking until you can get your hands on your ankles. And especially placing your right hand on the left leg is very challenging. Okay, exhale, release, step back, downward facing dog pose. Nice deep breaths. With consistency, accept the challenge. And then exhale, left foot forward. Square your right foot to the back edge. And come up for warrior 2. Adjust your stance. When you bend your left leg, the left knee should be directly over your ankle. Hug your legs strongly, thighs back, tailbone in. Stretch your arms. Turn your palms up for a sec and pull your armpits back so your shoulder blades hug with consistency. Then, keeping them there, don't lose the shoulder blade connection. Turn your palms down. Shoulder blades. Very good. As you move toward the future with your left arm, honor the past with your right. And it places the heart right up, perpendicular, vertical. Present moment. The present stands on the shoulders of the past as a gift from the future. I'll let you unpack that for the rest of the day. It's just a little phrase, because in Tantra, we don't want to just be here now. In Tantra, it's like all 3 times, and they're all happening simultaneously. Turn your left palm up and reverse. So we honor the past because everything that happened in your past has brought you to where you are today. And today is when we have the possibility to expand into the future, course correct. Inhale, come up. Stretch your left leg straight, engage your legs, kneecaps lift. And then exhale, right hand to your hip. You're going to come a little bit over to your right with your left hands, thighs back, stick your butt back, then tailbone in, and move your left hand to the outside of the left ankle. On a block is fine. Come up onto your heel. So your toes are way up. Dig your left heel down and drag back. This is really going to turn on the hamstring muscles. Right arm up. And breathe. Thighs back, tailbone in. Shine from the pelvis through the legs and through your spine. And then keep the action, keep the consistency in your leg muscles. They're engaged. And bring your left foot down to the floor, but maintain consistency. Scissor your leg. You're squeezing a beach ball between your legs. Okay, half moon, look down. Bend your left knee. Step your right foot forward. It's going to make it so much easier. You push off right foot, left hand, 10 and 2. Ready? Go. Hug your muscles to the bones with consistency, and that will improve your balance. And what I mean by that is check your kneecaps. Make sure they're lifted. How about your right toes? Are you just like flaccid in the toes? No. Spread all 5 toes, right foot. Lift your right leg a little higher. Groins back, tail in, right arm up. Full deep breaths. We're cultivating consistency. Use the breath. Self-acceptance. Now sweep your right hand back down. Bend your left knee. Step 3 feet back. Parsvottanasana, scissor. And scissor so much that your right hip comes forward. So the hips are square. Left hip back, right hip forward. Okay, hop on the tour bus. Turn your right foot all the way to the left. Scissor. Drag the back foot isometrically forward. Walk your hands left. Keep your tongue inside your mouth. Eyeballs stay in their sockets. No swear words. Keep your breath flowing. Now scissor your legs more. Yes, consistency. We could say, suffer consistently. And then, as you can, try to find your ankles with your hands. Left hand is just going to go back to the right shin, probably. Scissor, hold. Well done. Exhale, release. Downward dog. Come into plank. Exhale and fold. Bend both knees. Reach back for the tops of your feet. Now turn your toes out. Feet turn out slightly and spread your little toes. Hug your shins. Roll your thighs in. Tailbone down. Now you're ready. Inhale, come up. Push your feet back into your hands. Remember we opened with a stretch. Take the head of your arm bones back. Shoulder blades hug. The heart stays soft with acceptance. Lift your neck, lift your head. Now try to lift your toes a little bit higher up. And breathe. Keep your knees hugged toward the middle. Don't let them splay out. Consistency. And then exhale, release. Now come onto your back. Bend your elbows by your sides, palms parallel. Let's see how long we can make the side ribs. Bend your knees, feet flat on the floor, and feet parallel like Tadasana. Okay, soften. Invite the light of the universe to fill you with deep self-acceptance. Lengthen your sides. Acceptance of flaws and all. Personality quirks. Different idiosyncrasies. Okay, compulsions. Then head of the arm bones back. Let it all be okay for now. Yes, we can course correct. That's what relationship is for. Okay, now lift your throat a little bit. Press the back of your head down. Make a low back curve. Tip the sitting bones toward the floor, tail in, and then inhale, come up. Drag your heels back consistently. Pull from the heels to your palate. Hips are up. Now, hug your shoulder blades more. Kind of pull the shoulder blades under you a little bit more. We're going to work with that more by just stretch your elbows straight. Can you clasp your hands underneath? If you can, work your elbows closer. Walk your shoulders under just a tad more. And then root the back of your head down, and from your palate, push through your knees. So even as your heart rises up, with consistency, push your knees away from you. Knees away from you. Heels pull towards you. Knees push away from you. With all these counterbalancing forces, this should feel really good in the body. No pain. Just a nice stretch. You might get some fatigue. That's all good. Lift your heart, and then exhale. Release, come down, and enjoy the rush of the release. Very good. Now for those who can do the full back bend or the Dhanurasana, you can follow me with this. For everyone else, please do maybe 2 more Setu Bandha Sarvangasana poses. That's what we just did, the bridge. If you come up and do the bridge again, once you're up, hold your hips. And I'm going to have you just stretch one leg up and then switch. You have to stay consistent in the energy of engagement through your legs to hold the pose. Okay, so you focus on that one. For the others, stretch your arms straight up, and then root the head of the arm bones to the floor. Do that a couple of times. This is the action we want to get once we come up into the ready stage for Dhanurasana. When you're on the top of your head, you pull the head of the arm bones back, okay? And that needs to stay consistent as you stretch your elbows straight. What happens is, as soon as you're trying to come up into the pose, when you try to press your elbows straight, the head of the arm bones come out of the socket. Okay, and that's when we can get slightly tweaked. So, place your hands. Inhale, hips up, chest up, go to the top of your head, pause, separate your hands a little wider. Index fingers parallel, claw. Here we go, armpits back, chest forward, armpits back, chest forward, and then go up. Look at your fingertips. Curl your head back more. Heart forward. Walk your feet in a bit. From your pelvis, push down through your feet more. From your pelvis, push through your hands. Hold. Okay, now claw really hard. We're going to come up and bring the right hand to the right leg. And then switch. Just try to do one arm. That's not easy. And exhale, release. Breathe. We'll do one more Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you wish, go back to Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, it's fine. Or if you're done with your back bends, stretch your right leg up and just hold the back of your hamstring. You're going to push your hamstring into your hand. Okay, back bend, people. Place your hands, hips up, chest up, top of your head. Now, index fingers more parallel. Pull your armpits back. Pull from your elbow to your armpit. Curl your heart forward first. Roll towards your forehead. More. And then go up. Very good. Walk your feet in. Breathe. Push your right foot down. Bend your left knee in and stretch your left leg up. Switch. And exhale, come down. Oh yeah. Okay. Roll to your side and come up. Come stand. And then with your feet parallel, hands to your hips, fold halfway down. Try to keep a low back curve. Engage your legs more. And then exhale. Go all the way down, hands on eagle talons or hands on blocks. And now work the actions of your legs. With consistency, pull your heels backwards. Muscles engaged. And then bow. And then you're going to twist right. So hold your right outer shin with your left hand. Now, stay consistent. Don't let your left hip turn. Just turn from your belly, but keep your left hip back as you twist right. And then switch. Hold your outer left shin with your right hand. Focus on your right hip. Keep it back. Don't let it move. And as you twist to the left, your right hip stays back. Inhale to center, bend your knees, squat. Bring your knees a little closer together, twist right. And you can just put your wrist on the outside of your right knee, left wrist. Right hand is behind, and you could put your hand on a block, right hand on a block as needed. Lift your heart, lean back a little bit, and then twist. As you twist from your pelvis, push out through your knees more. Very good. Switch sides. Left hand comes behind. Right wrist, I like to take the right wrist on the left thigh, thumb down, and then get a little more leverage to twist. Inner rotate your thighs, tailbone in, and twist. I think this is a never before seen pose also. Because I don't know about you, I've never done this pose before. You think I know what I'm doing? Well, I do most of the time. But spontaneity, creativity, it's part of the beauty of teaching. Okay, come onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. And then stretch your legs out in Shavasana. Attune to your breath. Let your breath be natural. Let the breath breathe you. And as you exhale, release muscles from bones. Exhale bones into the earth. Take this time to release the hips and the legs. Hips and legs. Deep self-acceptance. Acceptance reduces stress. It releases tension from striving. Now focus on your entire spine and release from the tailbone and the sacrum to the low back, middle and upper back, neck and head. Let the peripheral parts of your body drape like a sheet over a clothesline. Now relax shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, palms, fingers. Let your awareness be like a spotlight that identifies tension and is able to release tension. In the throat, relax the root of your tongue, insides of your mouth, the jaw, let your teeth slightly separate. Your face, especially your eyes. The eyes can be filled with such dark clouds of judgment. It becomes a habitual pattern. Self-judgment. Imagine you could course correct. Imagine you could realign, that you see with the eyes of grace, the eyes of kindness, compassion. Allow your eyes to relax. The orbits of the eyes become soft. And let your eyes descend like smooth, round stones, descending to the bottom of the pond, to the sandy bottom. You feel the back of your eyes being held by a soft, velvety light, holding you. Even if we're not perfect at accepting ourselves, we can judge ourselves for judging ourselves. Let all that go now. And relax your entire body for the next minute or so. Just let yourself bathe in the universal, unconditional acceptance of the life force that pulses through you is perfect. And gently begin to return and receive both acceptance and consistency in the form of your breath. Let those two qualities extend to your fingers and toes and to every cell of your body. Then begin to move fingers and toes. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. When you're ready, come up to a seated position and sit for a moment. Index finger touching thumb. Sit upright, shoulders back, eyes closed. With consistency, draw in. Offer self-acceptance. And receive the blessing of the practice. How wonderful to be able to practice and cultivate inner peace and to learn how to enter it and then protect it. And then draw into your heart and see if you can offer yourself deep acceptance such that you make your virtues and your flaws the source of your inner peace. Maybe learn from our past mistakes and recognize that as the process of universal education. That's just how it happens. Consider that the universe learning about itself through that process. Because you are the embodied universe. May we not allow our history to get in the way of our destiny. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. May we let the light of the heart and the wisdom of the heart guide us through this day to bring a sense of deep inner peace and kindness to all. Include yourself. Let's take a deep breath and chant home. The inner peace in me bows to the inner peace in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. What a great practice. That was so much fun. I really love being with you, just sharing with you right here in my living room. How great is that? So I hope you have a wonderful day. And people have asked if they can contribute to these classes. Yes, we appreciate any contribution you can make. Just go to ashayayoga.com, practice online. You'll see the donate button. Thank you so much for your support and for your practice. Remember, acceptance and consistency.